This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
And we welcome you to the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV, along with Brian Balf, Eric Scherer, Hollywood Q. I'm Jason Klaus. We certainly appreciate you taking time out of your weekend, out of PLE weekend. A big one on tap tomorrow night, live from Chicago. We're talking about the Elimination Chamber. We're going to be doing a whole preview later on in the program. But before we get there, gentlemen, we have a lot of other news that we need to talk about, and we're going to kick things off this week with this accidental revelation by CNN. Look, when you are dealing with entities such as CNN, with WBD, these major powerhouses in televised endeavors and things of this nature, people are going to pay attention. Now, we've sat on these airwaves for a while now and speculated how involved is Time Warner invested in All Elite Wrestling, because as we all know, AEW programming is aired on Turner Broadcasting Television on TNT and TBS. So we started to question, as they were trying to find a new TV rights deal, how involved is WBD? Well, it was revealed in a news article, almost slid in there in the fifth paragraph about yay long, that actually Time Warner and Warner Brothers has a minority owner stake in All Elite Wrestling. They don't just provide the platform on television on TNT and TBS. They actually have a minority ownership in this company, and it makes me wonder, now that we know this officially, number one, what's that backlash going to be with CNN? Because you got to believe there was a reason why this was not brought to the limelight sooner, right? Because this is a publicly traded company, Time Warner that we're talking about, they have to reveal publicly if they have ownership in another entity up to 25% and on. So is it 20%? Is it 24%? How invested in this? And if you're Tony Khan, how are you feeling about this, Q?
It's a tricky situation with them being public and AEW being a private company and everything. And the percentage, I really don't know. It's weird that it was brought to light in the way it was, but this is kind of like we're gonna have to wait and see what actually happens if this becomes a developing story or not. I know Tony Khan is Tony Khan. Yeah, Tony Khan is
Welcome to the club.
Right. Too many cons, man. I know Tony Khan is he's kind of a guy that just kind of like
Bunny.
Oh wow.
No.
Oh man, he's bad con. Well, bad con. He just when he does interviews, he does not reveal pretty much anything. He's always in like promote mode. He's always promoting the next show. Hey, just watch Dynamite, like we're gonna find an answer on Dynamite or something.
Right.
So you're not gonna get any answers out of him. So this is gonna be kind of like a more of a wait and see type of thing here, I believe.
Do you feel like that WBD's ownership and their financial investment in AEW played a bigger role than we anticipated when they were shopping around for a new TV deal. Because the way I see this, because this was tried to be on the down low for so long, that's why you started seeing Netflix mentioned in conversation. We started seeing other streaming apps that were being talked about as a new home for AEW. Is this, I gotta believe, and what's your opinion on this? This is strictly because of a ratings thing, because Dynamite ratings haven't really increased at all in the last year and a half. You can go look at the schematics of it, but it makes you wonder, is this why they kept everything so hush-hush? Would you agree or no?
I would. Because you have to ask yourself, why wouldn't they want to? And the only thing you can think of is the fact that when they were doing the bidding of that for television deals, they must have felt that it would have some type of hindrance on the deals that they would be offering because of their already having an opportunity or a place to go.
Right.
So that's the only thing I can think of. I feel like that's the only thing that's the real question out of it. Like, I mean, I don't think we'll ever get an answer, like, why. I think they're going to try to keep this under the rug, and I think they're going to think it's just going to go away, which it honestly probably will. It's one of these things that should be talked about, like, hey, what's up with this? This was weird. But we're wrestling fans. We're not going to, I mean, you're only going to stick around on the business side for so long, and then you're going to be like, all right, what's the next match?
It was weird how the whole thing came to light, because it was actually in the middle of another article about this whole thing with, who was it, Eddie Kingston or somebody? No, Brody King.
Yep, Brody King
was wearing
the ice.
The ice thing, and they have really. Now, as a sidebar, let me just say this. Pardon me. If you are tuning in to professional wrestling, at least for me, and correct me if I'm wrong here, like when I tune in to watch pro wrestling, the last thing that I want to be reminded of is anything negative happening in the real world. Like that should be our escape from reality for the 2 hours, 3 hours that we're watching a wrestling show. So personally speaking, the fact that that was incorporated in the way that it was probably isn't the best look overall. Like, I understand you're on a platform and you want to have your voice heard. Man, that's what you got your social media platforms for, your Twitter accounts and Instagrams and all this other stuff. I don't really feel like that needs to be incorporated into a televised wrestling product. And that's just me. I mean, if you guys feel otherwise, I respect that, but that's not what I'm tuning in for a wrestling show for. But it's things like this, Eric, and we use John Moxley as, oh my goodness, we use John Moxley as an example of probably not the best light AEW puts on there on a regular basis, because the dude steps through the ropes and all of a sudden he's bleeding all over the place. You know what I mean? So how much of their content, it may be a reason, because you're a newer fan to them, you're looking at this with really fresh eyes. That's why I'm picking on you for this question. But as a newer fan, and you're seeing what kind of product that they are putting out there on cable television, I mean, we're not even taking their pay-per-views into the conversation at this point, but you got to believe that the higher ups at WBD may be questioning, like, is this something that we really want to put our name to? Is that something that you think is taken into consideration?
Yeah, I can see that. They got a lot of blood, right? There's a lot of, like you said, with John Moxley. Oh my gosh, what is her name? Toni Storm.
Yeah.
She says a couple things as well that are even risque for cable TV. And yeah, I can see why that might be a reason they'd be trying to hide their ownership in this.
Especially right now, too, in the whole political landscape, it's you're either one side or you're the other.
Right.
So if you do side one way or another, like, people will just cut away from your company. So they probably don't want to put themselves out there like
Very
that.
true.
And that's the other thing, and that's a great point because it brings up the whole tribalism, not just from a political standpoint, but as wrestling fans, you can go, you can go and watch and read what the IWC's putting out there, right? But it's just, it's one of those things where you guys, man, I feel like AEW right now, they are, bad publicity is the last thing this company needs because they've got TNA breathing down their neck as the number 2 spot. They've got all this political stuff going on, and when you start bringing politics into it, it really feeds into the tribalism. Exclusive AEW fans versus exclusive WWE fans, and it really starts to become obnoxious, and it puts kind of the whole fan base in a negative light because you're not focusing on what brought you to the. Just watch what's on TV. Quit worrying about what the hell is going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Have an opinion, yes, but in the same frame, Tony Khan as booker of this thing, and this is why I have maintained he needs to get a wrestling guy to book his shows. He really needs to, because this kind of stuff is the one thing, because if WBD pulls out when this contract expires, AEW and their future is in big trouble. Would you agree?
If they pull out, then yeah. But this is my thing with AEW. AEW is a unique company in a way, because WWE is dominating right now. Like when it comes to like professional wrestling, we know what WWE is. They got TNA, they got AAA. If you watch TNA, you're watching WWE. If you're watching AAA, AAA is starting to turn into WWE if you watch their product. What AEW really needs to do is really get out of the politics. Stay out of the politics. Like for me, I don't want to see, even if I support it, I don't want to see it on television because it reminds me of what's going on the news. Right. It reminds me of everything that's happening. I'd rather just see professional wrestling, like you said, that's the escape. Now, AEW, being that number 2, you want to try to keep that spot by not putting so much negative shine on your company, even if WB is with it. It don't even matter. Like, you want to try to keep as many people interested in the product and not into the political side of what's going on. All the anti-this, anti-that stuff, and people start like going at each other, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like focus on the product, bleed less, maybe Tony Storm can cut it down a little bit. I like it, for me, I dig it, I don't care for John Moxley that much, but AEW is in a unique spot. They're different. I think that's what got them in the number 2 spot, is because they're different. And people that don't want to see WWE can watch AEW. So you want to try to keep that and try to stay special.
Yeah, man. It would be too easy to continue this conversation.
This could be a full show.
I know.
It really
I'm
could.
sitting there looking at the time. I'm like, we could talk about this a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at the format. I'm like, man, we really need to move on. And when you talk about ownership in professional wrestling, and you're talking about the shakeup in professional wrestling from a very high level, it's no wonder why we're sitting here this week talking about Vince McMahon allegedly trying to reacquire World Wrestling Entertainment.
Awesome.
Yeah, isn't that great? Listen, we've heard rumblings of what is going to be Vince's next move once he gets past this lawsuit thing with Janelle Grant. And that whole process is starting to move forward. They have a hearing in June, I guess, in an effort to try to come up with some sort of settlement, which everybody kind of expected was going to happen with this whole thing. But now that there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel with this very public legal battles, McMahon is now back into the conversation of trying to reacquire WWE from TKO. And with that comes financial backing from Saudi Arabia. Now, as we head into WrestleMania season, now the Elimination Chamber PLE is tomorrow, and it does provide some crucial pieces on how they're going to build WrestleMania. But there's a lot of chatter online in around the water cooler, Brian, about the creative going into this. A lot of unhappy fans right now are very vocal with how creative has gone, to the point to where people have clamored for the return of Vince McMahon. Wasn't all that long ago, less than a handful of years ago, everybody was waiting for Vince to leave to let Triple H run the show, much like he did at NXT. We've all seen how the process is on the Unreal show on Netflix. But as we go into the meat of WrestleMania season here, Vince McMahon coming back to WWE in any level, is this a good thing or a bad thing?
I think people would be surprised on a creative level how much it would stay the same, because it's still the same current writers that Vince had still writing the show. That's no different. There would be a positive, because we do know Vince was always pushed, so weird to say this because with all his lawsuits and going, but he was very more family oriented.
Yeah.
It was live shows. It was keeping the young kids interested in the project. It wasn't pricing out fans out of tickets and trying to make as much money as possible and squeeze it dry as much as you can, what seems like what TKO is doing with it. So I think it's a yes and no. Also, maybe Saudi Arabia doesn't know how American businesses work, but you bring Vince back ahead of that, I think you have a lot of women wrestlers that are be like, this is a hostile work environment for me now. And now you are putting yourself in a possibility of having many lawsuits.
Yeah, I didn't even take that part into consideration when I started reading about this.
Because you don't think of women like me. I'm a feminist.
No, I just when you look at the concept or the premise, Eric, let's look at the facts here. Vince McMahon created what we now know as WWE. He winds up selling the company, and we all expected him to do something else in an entertainment endeavor that was not pro wrestling, and then all the lawsuits started happening and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, Triple H is put in the creative chair. He's the one writing the shows and all this. And at first, a lot of happy people, everybody was excited about it. There was this change. There was this, and the way the show was shot and like everything felt fresh and it felt new. Now, as a newer fan, and I know you know that Vince McMahon had a heavy hand in everything WWE, right? It was his baby. But if you're TKO now, what do you think it would take for them to consider an offer from Vince McMahon? Because having him brought back under the TKO umbrella seemingly just is not going to be a thing.
I think money. I think that's all TKO has ever cared about, right? It's raise ticket prices, raise merch prices. I'd love to see Vince back personally.
Would you?
I'm a newer fan recently, but I watched, I was a 90s boy. I was the end of the new era and the whole Attitude Era. And yeah, I'd love to see Vince back. Like Brian hit some good points. I think ticket prices would go down. I think, I don't know. I'm excited. I would love to see some storyline changes. I'd love to see what Vince could bring back TKO, all they care about is money. I'm good with Vince coming back and bringing the show back to families.
He brings up the point of we probably would see a reduction in ticket prices, which is ironic because I just saw that this afternoon that select seats for WrestleMania 42 are now 25% off all of a sudden. They are really struggling right now to sell out the stadium for back-to-back nights. And look, we have theories on whether it's because it's the card, is it because they're in the same venue that they were last year, there's not that level of newness, is it the whole thing with TKO, like what is it that people are not buying these tickets up for? Now, Q, I'll ask you, if
Big if.
Vince McMahon, with Saudi backing, reacquires World Wrestling Entertainment, would they see the same growth financially that they are seeing now under TKO? I ask that because will there be a contingent of fans that will be immediately turned off from this brand because of the affiliation with Saudi Arabia and how polarizing that entity has been in this business?
Woo, that's a full sub right there. Oh, man.
Let me know when you're done.
All right. That's a good one. My answer is no. This whole thing with Vince McMahon is already bad. Vince McMahon is not the right guy to come back. He's not going to fix what's broken in WWE right now. And if you add Saudi Arabia, where people are already in their feelings about Saudi Arabia, now you got two negatives pretty much coming in to fix a broken product right now. Vince McMahon is in his 80s now. He is in his 80s now. Man. TKO is not the right fit, but Vince McMahon is definitely not the right fit for right now. Because I remember a 2019 Vince McMahon, a 2018 Vince McMahon, 17, 16. The product was awful. Now, ticket prices might have been the only thing that might be the saving grace here, but it's not good enough for all of the other stuff that Vince McMahon brings to the table. Not only does he bring an outdated mindset, because Vince was great back in the day, but he's outdated now. If he brings that outdated mindset to the product now, it's not going to get any better. Plus, with all of the allegations, and there's going to be people that's going to strengthen AEW if Vince McMahon comes back, because there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be walking out that door. Not only women, but you're going to have some of those other feminists, the guys that's going to be looking out for the women, saying, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this either. You already got people that already didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. Now Saudi Arabia is going to be the investor. I mean, like, there's going to be a lot of feelings that's going to be, like, hurt if this were to take place. And I did see a couple of reputable sites debunking this, so hopefully this is not something that's going to come to fruition, because I think this would be an awful move to bring Vince McMahon back in the midst of what's going on with his allegations and the fact that he is 80 years old. And I love what Brian said. We talked about this the other day. The only thing that changed in that writing department was the head. That was it. I mean, you still got Pritchard, and you still got Michael Hayes and Road Dogg, and those guys weren't good back when Vince was running the product. I mean, so now you just put the whole you just put a shiny new piece surrounded by a bunch of turds. Like, it's just not gonna get any better. You have to change the whole thing. The best thing that happened, and we passed a honeymoon period with Triple H, and I think that's why people are really dying off. We passed that honeymoon period. The best thing that came out of this was the way the production is shot. But then I heard something that Eric Bischoff mentioned, I think it was a few years back, where he said, the product is too polished now. It's too polished. They put so much into the way things are shot. You got drones flying all over the place. You got all of these 8K cameras in the building, and everything looks all nice and crisp, but there's no edginess. It's too pretty. We're watching a pretty product. We're not watching what we used to watch when the tagline used to be, this is WWF where anything can happen.
Yeah.
Oh, we know exactly what's going to happen now. And if Vince McMahon come in there, it's not going to change.
All right. I certainly appreciate your take on that, and there's a lot there to unpack. There's a lot of truth there too. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why when Raw went to Netflix, they wanted a grittier look to it, which is why they went with the black ring canvas and all this other stuff. But yeah, it is very polished. It's like watching a movie.
Yeah.
It really is. When you talk about the production of WWE, I do want to make mention of this real quick. Longtime director Kerwin Silfies, who worked for 30 years with WWE, passed away last week. He was responsible for how WWE programming was, how we viewed it for a long, long time. Some of the biggest moments in the history of that company was under his direction. So wanted to make mention of that. And then the body cam footage of McMahon's accident back in July popped up. You guys, anything you want to make mention of that real quick? Other than, wow, this dude is really delusional.
Yeah, that's about it.
Not only does he need to not come back to WWE, man, stop driving, man. Stop driving.
For
Go
sure.
sit down somewhere.
All right, moving on here in the show with the Elimination Chamber happening tomorrow. The tagline card subject to change happened in very real time this past Monday with the injury to Big Bronson Reed, who reports have said was scheduled to win a triple threat match to qualify to be in the Chamber main event tomorrow in Chicago. However, during the course of the triple threat match on Raw, he tears his bicep, becoming the third member of the Vision faction to go out on the disabled list with a legitimate injury. First it was Seth Rollins, then it was Braun Breaker, now it's Bronson Reed. And it brings me to two questions. One, is the Vision cursed? Or two, is Big Bronson Reed injury prone? This is the third major injury he's had since being called up to either NXT or the WWE main roster. It happened at War Games. Like he has.
That was a stupid injury.
That was a dumb injury. He gets the momentum, starts riding, man, and then all of a sudden it's like something happens and he is sidelined for a significant amount of time. Indefinitely, Hugh, is what they said here. Is he injury prone or is this faction actually cursed?
I'm going to say all the above. I mean, is there like a D answer? You know? That sucks. I mean, he's a big dude. Some of the things that he does, he shouldn't be doing. Like when he does the suicide dive to the outside, every time he does that, I quench. I flinch, you know. I'm like, dude.
Holding your breath.
Yeah, I'm like, man, you're a big dude. You're either going to hurt yourself or you're going to crush the guy that's underneath you. The whole cage War Game spot, so dumb. I don't think he should have even done that. I remember Rikishi did the same thing off the cage. These big guys need to start watching out, man. Now it's to the point where his ankle will never be the same.
For real.
Yeah, he said he's in constant pain all the time now, and he's a big dude.
Big dude.
Yeah, so I mean, and this bicep tear, this was a freak.
So stupid. It wasn't even a
accident.
cool bump.
It's just a pin save.
Right.
That was it.
He rolled,
Man.
and it just ripped right off.
Yeah.
I rolled out of bed this morning. I'm all
Tear your
right.
bicep.
No, I think I'm all right.
What does this do for Bronson Reed? I mean, how many times is this going to happen before?
I mean, hopefully no more.
Right,
I mean,
well,
I mean,
right.
obviously for him, but I'd like to hope that he's not injury prone because I do want to see more of him in the future. And like, how long do you pay for a guy's contract if he doesn't show up? Now, whether or not if I think they're cursed, I think right now, more than ever, there's a possibility of people being cursed in WWE, and we might even see it in the crate. I mean, friend of the show, who's put in a video for us before, Mr. Danhausen, option D that you talked about, maybe why they're cursed. Very good.
What? Oh my God! Wouldn't that be something though? If that's how they brought him in, that would be.
Right now, in my mind, I was like, dude, if he's in that crate and it's like Seth Rollins shows up, he goes, I always have a backup plan. And he was the one cursing everybody. Oh,
I'm with it.
jeez, that's awesome. There's so many words I want to say that I can't on TV. I feel like, all right, I give up. You guys are awesome.
Oh my gosh! A video went pretty viral. I don't know if it went officially viral, but it made its rounds, especially around the IWC. This interview was being conducted with Karrion Kross, and during the midst of this interview, which was being filmed, his cell phone goes off, and the interviewer happens to glance down and notices the name Paul Heyman on the screen as somebody who was texting Karrion Kross. Now, he is a current title holder with MLW, and MLW does not have a working relationship with WWE under any circumstances whatsoever. You and I talked about this last night at work, and we're like, man, if this was a thing, and again, the very big word here is if, would he fit in the vision? Number one, but number two, and I feel like this is more likely. Eric, I'll ask you what you think. This is a way for Karrion Kross to stay relevant, because if he is working with MLW, there is no way he has any affiliation with WWE. This is just something to get people like us talking about. Would you agree?
I think that's exactly what it is. I think we changed Scarlett's name real quick to Paul Heyman in the phone. And, yeah, I think it's just a move to stay relevant, to get his name out there. He already had 2 chances in the WWE, right? I don't think Paul's going to have him back a 3rd time. I think he would fit in the vision. I think he'd look good in the vision. He could be a good, like, ring master, right? A good, or puppet master. Puppet master.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't know. Like I know there is a lot of people that are very high on Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and like if they could figure it out, having them as them as a package would be more beneficial, because them being a part of another faction or with more people, man, I don't know. It's a weird dynamic that it doesn't work for me, brother.
It doesn't work for me either. bro.
Here's what I'll ask you. Would it make sense to reach out to Karrion Kross and have him and Scarlett come back to be part of the Vision when you currently on the roster have Aleister Black and Zelina, which are basically like Xerox
Same
copies of
copy.
them?
That's the exact role that there is.
Why
filling
bring
right
him
now.
back when you could just slide them over? And Aleister Black's not really got any storylines or anything going right now.
Right, and if you are going to go that route, tweak his character a little bit. because there's something that's not clicking with him, and he's got all the talent, all the tools to be a main player here, but something just ain't clicking with a large portion of the fan base. So if you are going to go that route, then yeah, you look from within, put that effort into Alistair Black, 100%. Because I think Karrion Kross is one of the most overrated wrestlers I've seen in the last handful of years, but that's just me. But when you talk about a talent that's not overrated, that brings us to the phenomenal AJ Styles. Big announcement this past week. It was revealed during his official farewell and send-off that closed out Monday Night Raw that he will be the newest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame this year. And with an announcement like that, it's inevitable that we ask the question, who is going to induct him? Now, this past Monday, we saw a lot of TNA superstars that AJ shared the ring with, had rivalries with, had partnerships with, not just TNA, but New Japan and WWE. We saw Petey Williams. We saw Abyss, Chris Park,
that was cool.
in his Abyss garb. We saw Gallows and Anderson, who I thought was really cool to bring back in. Then you look at the guys that he's worked with in WWE. John Cena's name is now being brought back up as a possible inductor for AJ. Very well deserved. I'm happy that he gets the nod here. But who do you think should be inducting AJ Styles?
I think WWE wants John Cena.
Sure.
I would like to see maybe, I don't know, you got people like Finn Balor who's close to him, and I would like to see someone like Finn Balor, maybe even a Bobby Roode.
Good one. Bobby Roode's a good one.
Yeah,
Shinsuke.
I mean, not Shinsuke.
Well, listen, if you wanted to have Shinsuke
That's like Asuka doing one.
have him part of a handful of guys.
Yeah.
I did think
can
of
see
the
that.
possibility of a handful of guys going out there, and I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it. They're going to bring, I think I mentioned this to one of you guys last night. Watch them bring in Dixie Carter to do it.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. Yeah. I don't want to see that.
Who do you think?
I have no clue.
Okay.
Like
Glad
you said,
we had this talk.
Yep, like you said, I'm newer. I do want to say I did love the send off.
They finally did one right.
Man,
It's a good one.
and he gave the flowers to his wife. He said how amazing his wife was, and that was awesome. His kids were there. That was a great send off. Taker at the end. It was awesome. I loved it.
I love Taker's gimmick.
Listen,
Induct Taker.
Yeah. As soon as his music hit, I was, because I was watching it at work, and like I was working on the thing in front of me, and I heard the dong go off. I'm like, oh, he's going to the Hall of Fame. That's exactly what's going on.
See, I didn't think it. I was surprised by it. I'm like, okay, I like this new gimmick.
Yeah, it's going to be very cool. Who do you think should be inducting him?
I'm good with Cena. I think they had such a great this last year, their match and everything, and like I said, that I feel like should be match of the year for last year. Yeah, I would go with Cena.
All right, I could totally see that too. So. All right, what we're going to do, we are going to run a quick timeout. When we come back, we are going to be looking at the big premium live event that goes down in Chicago tomorrow night live. And we will be back with more of the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV right after this.
The Lake Orion Lions Club invites you to join them for a night at the races on Saturday, April 25th at Boulder Point Golf Club in Oxford. Admission includes a taco bar and beer and wine, and you get to take part in the Lion races, Large fuzzy dice will move wooden lions decorated by local businesses and organizations down the racetrack, and you can bet on the outcome. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. with the races starting at 7 p.m. Visit LakeOrionLions.org for ticket information. Love Inc. of North Oakland County cordially invites you to attend the 4th annual Share the Love fundraiser on Saturday, April 18th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Indian Wood Golf and Country Club. Attendees will enjoy dinner and music and are encouraged to take part in a silent auction and raffles for a chance to win prizes donated by local businesses and organizations. Love Inc.'s largest fundraiser of the year helps them link local churches, volunteers, and community partners to transform the lives of our neighbors in need. Visit loveincofnoc.org to purchase tickets before the April 3rd deadline. Come share a night of connection, generosity, and hope to support those who need it most.
And we welcome you back to the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV. We certainly appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us here tonight. Part of your weekend, part of a big PLE weekend if you are a WWE fan. The Elimination Chamber goes down tomorrow night from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. This is kind of a big move. The last time they were at the United Center was back at SummerSlam of '94. And it's been a long time. They usually go to the Allstate Arena in suburban Rosemont, Illinois, formerly known as the Rosemont Horizon. But no, they're going to the United Center, and it's going to be a big card. And it's going to have big ramifications as we move forward to WrestleMania 42 in April in Las Vegas. Starting off will be Chicago's own World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. Will be defending the title against Finn Balor in a one-on-one match, a rematch from Monday Night Raw when it took place in Balor's hometown of Belfast, Ireland. Q, I'll ask you first. Punk is the hometown hero. He generally does not lose in Chicago. Does Finn Balor stand a chance here? Because if this gets altered in any way, right now we have Punk and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Punk loses the title. We're getting Finn Balor and Roman Reigns.
Oh, man. I can't wait to see that one. Oh, my God. Maybe,
that's going to boost ticket sales in Las Vegas.
Maybe Finn Balor can get his win back on Roman when he beat the Demon. There it is. I don't know. This is just... does it feel like WrestleMania season has kicked off yet?
Nope.
I don't think it really doesn't feel that way to me. I know Rumble was supposed to be like the official kickoff. We are in a state of bunch of question marks. Like, I really don't know what's going to happen here. One thing I do know, Finn Balor is not beating CM Punk in Chicago. I don't care what kind of face paint he put on, but he is not beating CM Punk in Chicago. This is the same booking that they did, I want to say about maybe a year ago or something when Balor was challenging, I think it was Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. He was getting these shots, and nobody believed it then because they didn't put enough into Balor's push. Finn Balor went on a year-long losing streak in one-on-one competition. Before, I think it was, I can't remember who he beat last in a one-on-one match. But before that, it was 2023 when he won a singles match. A singles match. If you say, oh, he's teaming up with Big Head, JD, and he's going for the tag titles.
Talk about me.
I ought to be like, oh man, Finn Balor got a chance to win a match. But when he's by himself, I'm like, man, another doggone loss for Finn Balor. They didn't put enough into this. Like, and I said it before, and I'm back on that Nikki Bella thing. You don't win matches, you don't get title shots. That's my thing. What we got to think logical here. What does it take to get a title shot? Oh man, I don't like you. Oh, you get a title shot, just like that? No, it's just not working for me. It's not working for me, brother.
I can't believe that the whole Nikki Bella thing.
It really messed me up.
Finn Balor in the main event for a world title against a guy that's as big and over and popular in WWE as there is. I mean, are we buying into this? Does he have to be the demon to be taken seriously in this role?
I don't think even as a demon he's taken seriously in this role, because I think it's a lock that it's going to be CM Punk and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. We know that. The fact that they booked this match shows how chaotic WWE is right now and how much they're scrambling to put together this WrestleMania with all the injuries that they have. It's like an impromptu, like, we're just going to roll with it from day to day. It's one of the reasons why this pay-per-view, as much as I want something to be able to check out on and just sit down and enjoy, it's hard because it's very, like we said earlier, predictable right now. Finn's not winning. We're going to see Dom come out. It's going to in some way cost him it. We're going to see Dom versus Finn for the IC belt at WrestleMania, which is a match which I'm happy for, and I do hope Finn wins that match because I think that will elevate both Dom and Finn for a bit.
And I think that's also going to put Dominic on the fast track to be the next heel in the main event picture because, I mean, that kid is lightning in a bottle, you know. They're in Chicago. Ticket sales were what they were. There's still a lot of seats available at last check here. But putting CM Punk on this card because of where it's at, after not wrestling at the Royal Rumble in any way, shape, or form, this was done specifically to move tickets in your opinion? Because otherwise, if you know what your main event is for WrestleMania, why are you having him put the title on the line against somebody who, up until a couple of weeks ago, wasn't even in the conversation? We weren't talking about Finn Balor other than, he's has an argument with the Judgment Day. Like, that's all he was doing. Now, much like what Q's saying, he's in the title picture for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, we're beating a dead horse with me being the fourth guy, but yeah, it looks like a sales pitch, right? You got to put Punk in Chicago, try to move some tickets. I'm glad they're giving Balor a push. I like the guy.
Me too.
I like how I like how he's in the ring. I like how he is in the mic. He's fun. I like Balor. I'm glad he's getting a push. But yeah, there's no way he's winning tomorrow.
No, and when you look at the landscape here for this premium live event, they're in Chicago. CM Punk, the Second City Saint, as they call him. Well, he's not going to be the only person from Chicago in a high-profile match because the Women's Intercontinental Championship will be on the line when Chicago's own and Punk's wife, AJ Lee, will be challenging Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship. Eric, we'll start with you on this one. Becky Lynch has really added a level of legitimacy to the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And even I have to admit, like, I cannot stand her, but that tells me she's doing her job. And she has really made this title a focal point. And now with AJ Lee back in the mix, if we're following the Hollywood Q concept, she should not be in the title match right now because she has not earned a title match by logic, but they are in Chicago. This is a big, high-profile match, but should they have kept this and built it for WrestleMania?
I can see that. So this is for the belt tomorrow?
Oh, yes.
I don't see AJ winning the belt. I think they should have built it a little more. It feels a little too soon to take the belt off of big-time Bex. I heard, by the way, she's the highest-rated woman on the new 2K26 game.
Is that from, you heard that from Sports Illustrated?
It's not just
Everybody's saying
Everybody's
it,
saying
right?
that.
she's the best.
Everybody's
women's
playing
wrestler.
it.
Yeah,
Everyone's playing her.
I like that.
AJ and Becky, we kind of talked about this a little bit. I feel like we are in agreement. They probably should have waited for WrestleMania for this. Do you feel like this was rushed, and the only reason why we're doing this is because it's in Chicago?
Yes and no. I do feel like we may be overlooking something. I do think that we do see this match at WrestleMania as well. Okay. And for that reason alone, where I know a lot of people are going with Becky, I'll go AJ Lee. I think what they're going to do is I'd like to see a Punk come out there. He won his belt. AJ won her belt. They're in the ring together, ending the show, and we see Chicago like. But also, if I was writing the books and you gave them to me, I would give the title to AJ. And then at WrestleMania, when we see the rematch and we see Jessica Carr as a referee in that match, what I would do to really throw the swerve in there, I would have Jessica Carr help Becky Lynch win the title.
100%.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's the way wrestling used to write,
Right.
and what made us happy. Like that's the way I would do it.
I can totally see that too, and that is old school booking. That's how you get.
You've built this animosity between Becky and Jessica, and for them to flip the page at the last second, it would be like, that's what you would do.
It's as soon as they announced AJ to be a part of this match, realizing what they're in Chicago and all of this stuff. This is when I started looking at what the ticket sales were looking like. How many seats were available at the United Center. We could hop the train tomorrow and get some pretty good seats to the Elimination Chamber if we really wanted to. But Becky and AJ, this has been a rivalry that really has put some much needed spotlight on a secondary title. And I was very critical about the creation of these titles. Like, if you want to give them each brand a women's world title and then have the tag team championship go between brands, I was all for that. But when they started bringing the women's United States title and then the women's Intercontinental title, I scoffed at it because I was like, man, if you're going to give them a secondary title, give them something new. Give them something fresh. Why does it have to be the women's Intercontinental Championship? Why couldn't they come up with a different title name for that? You know what I mean?
I would have did one, because if you got just, maybe a new name, the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title is overkill. We already see that the U.S. title is not being defended on a PLE, hasn't been defended on a PLE yet, and it's been like that title is just as important as the Speed title right now.
Right.
Like, no, I don't even know who's holding the women's U.S. title.
Julia?
Is it Julia? She
She's
got it
still got
back.
I thought she lost it.
I think she got it back. Yeah, she did get it back. But there's no stock behind it. Like, that's the one credit I do give Becky Lynch, that she is getting that Intercontinental title put on PLEs when Julia's not.
Eesh, yeah.
And I like Julia better.
For sure.
Yeah, but this is where charisma comes into play, and this is what, say what you want. Even I have to admit, Becky Lynch has got it. Like, she's got it. She is a star. And as much as I get, yes, she is.
She is.
She's
not your star.
If you look up cringe in the dictionary, that's Becky Lynch.
She's cringe.
I like her.
But
The faces, everything she does, it's like you overact everything that you're doing. You're just ew. She's my ick, as the kids say.
Oh my God! All right, the Jade Cargill's challenger for the WWE Women's Title at WrestleMania will be up for grabs and determined when 6 of the toughest women in WWE are going to climb into the Elimination Chamber. Rhea Ripley, Asuka, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss, and Kiana James. This one is a lot harder to call in my opinion. Q, where do you see this going real quick?
See, I like Raquel.
Okay, big Mama Cool.
Big Mama Cool, but I don't think they're gonna give it to Raquel. When I look at these women, I see them doing either some type of swerve, because Charlotte's not in there, and Charlotte is the name that's been teased to be facing Jade Cargill since Bianca's not around. So I can see something fishy happening with Alexa Bliss, and so I don't know. You thinking the same? What are you thinking?
I had the same discussion with Jason in the parking lot before the show. The
Really?
exact same conversation.
Oh, well, look at us.
So you're saying, I'm like, did you guys talk about
We
this
did not.
too?
We did not talk about
We did not.
No, straight up though, Charlotte, this whole thing with Charlotte and Alexa, and the fact that Charlotte is still very much a part of the mix, but not in this match unto itself. This is what I hate, because it happened to Bailey last year at WrestleMania to make room for Becky Lynch. Now they're going to screw over Alexa Bliss to put Charlotte in there. And me personally, Alexa is my favorite out of this group. She would be the one I would want to win this, but they're going to wind up using her as a sacrificial lamb to give props to another star that doesn't necessarily need the whole. Yeah.
Or they even just add Charlotte in there some fishy, screwy way if Alexa wins.
Oh, yeah.
You got a triple threat.
Could be. Who do you like in this?
Now, does the winner face Jade, for
Yes.
sure?
Yes.
Man, because I'd love Raquel too. I'd love to see some sort of. I'd love to see Raquel win, and then some
Big,
sort of triple threat
meaty
match.
women.
Triple threat match with her and Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer for the belt. That's what I'd like to see. Some kind of breakup with that faction too. Because how Liv threw Raquel out at Rumble, and
Right.
Yeah.
Could be
that's
interesting.
what I'd want to
That
see.
is very interesting. Yeah.
Do you have an official pick on this?
I'm gonna go Raquel. I think Rhea's the odds-on favorite currently for odds. I know the way WWE is right now, especially with the old school bookers, we're probably gonna see a face versus a heel at WrestleMania, but I think the smart move is Raquel. That's what I would do, and I'd have Raquel win the belt.
Well,
And then if you have Liv win at WrestleMania and Raquel win at WrestleMania, man, that would make for a great crown jewel.
yeah, it would.
Ooh.
Yeah, it would. Absolutely.
Especially since you already started the storyline at Royal Rumble.
Right. All right, and then the main event for this PLE will be the men's chamber match. At stake will be a shot at Drew McIntyre's WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, main event Jey Uso, Randy Orton, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans will be a part of the men's match here. We talked a little bit before we came on the air. We each had our one. We're like, yeah, probably wouldn't be my pick to be in this match. But when you look at the graphic, you look at the stars that are involved, we have a little bit of everything in this. We have the veteran leadership of Randy Orton. You've got the current babyface and Cody Rhodes, and then you got the uprising, the new talent in Javon Evans and Trick Williams. But for me, this is LA Knight's match, and he is going to be my pick to win this match. Q, where you at here?
Oh, man. I wanted to say LA Knight, but, man, I feel like we've done that so many times, and then creative lets us down.
I know, but he's my one.
I'm gonna say there's some more fishy business going on because Jacob's not in this match. So you got that element. Jacob, something with Cody. Drew got beef with pretty much everybody in this match.
Everybody in that match.
So this one is, I don't know. I don't know. I can see them doing something screwy. We're gonna see Drew. That's my prediction. We're gonna see Drew.
Sure. All right. Eric, who do you think?
I'd love to see LA as well. Did you see on Monday Night Raw, big fan with a push LA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He needs the push.
Push the LA Lakers.
I don't think he's gonna get it though.
I swear to God.
They already
This
got.
guy's over here talking about the oh.
Yeah, I don't like them either though.
They do have the beef with Cody and Drew already. Seeing that at Mania is probably the likelihood, but Q saying that Fatu is going to come in and probably mess with Cody. Man, who would win in that case? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. As long as we run it back. Run it back in the
Oh
middle of the
my
match.
God.
Let's pause the whole match and we run it back.
You know what? This will be the greatest thing ever if they say run it back, and then all of a sudden Trick Williams music plays, and then everybody just goes hype for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool. That would be very cool. Brian, who do you like in this?
I think as stale as WrestleMania looks right now, we can't see Randy, we can't see Cody, we can't see LA Knight because we've seen all those three go against Drew repeatedly. So I will go Trick Williams.
Okay.
And I think, especially the way WWE has been, we just saw Jey Uso win the title because of how the crowd's responded to him. The crowd is responding to Trick Williams louder than anybody else on the roster. So give him the belt.
Put that rocket on him.
And if you want to put Cody in a match, and you're talking about Jacob Fatu, we never saw the conclusion of that match because it got broke up.
Right.
You book Jacob and Cody in another street fight at WrestleMania.
Or put him in Hell in a Cell.
There you go.
Make it make sense, I guess, as it were. All right, we certainly appreciate everybody who tuned in with us here live tonight. And check us out over on our socials. Look for the Fatal 4-Way on Facebook and the PFC Entertainment Network on Facebook and TikTok. With that, go out, be awesome to yourselves and to each other. We will see you in 2 weeks' time as we continue the road to WrestleMania right here on the Fatal 4-Way live on ONTV as a part of the PFC Entertainment Network.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.